We are the Nerdy Turtle Network.
Hello, and welcome to Icons Academy, here on the Nerd Turtle Network. I'm your GM for the day, Jason, and with me is Curtis, playing Putty.
Hola.
Mike, playing Blessed Thorn.
Hey.
Taylor, playing Rigajig.
Howdy, howdy.
And Zach, playing Lacuna.
Good afternoon.
And last session, or I should say our first session, I guess. You all arrived at the academy. You had a little speech given by the dean, or the principal rather. You met some of the staff. All the students were broken down into groups or into teams. Of course, you four were placed into Team 1. And then you were sent on an obstacle course. You came out of the obstacle course feeling like y'all had done pretty well. Your teacher, Miss Fowler, seemed impressed at least. You met a couple of other students. Specifically, I think it was Molly and Kayla that y'all spoke with. Molly being clearly from Australia, both from her accent and the fact that she had an Australian flag on her shirt. Maybe she's not subtle, but you know. And then Kayla was a little girl that had apparently skipped some grades, is why she's in class with y'all. But after running into her, we were given free reign to run around the campus, get familiar with the campus. Y'all ran into a couple of other kids your age in the halls. You're pretty sure they're not students, though. They were in full costume, and they seemed to be breaking into lockers. Though the only thing they seemed to be doing was leaving flyers. I believe they handed y'all one of the flyers, which was an invitation to something called Headmaster Love's Institute of Criminology. When you kind of protested them being there, they split. But as they left, one of the guys that seemed to be a gadgeteer set off some sort of alarms, and some of the school security drones showed up. They clearly did not recognize you as students and came in to attack, and y'all had to deal with them. As you finished them up, the Rook appeared, who is vice principal of the school. So on the first day, you got to go spend time at the principal's office. Thankfully, though, y'all weren't in trouble. I think you then had a late lunch, and that pretty well wrapped things up.
So, we haven't even got to the first day of school. And already, I mean, we may or may not have won, but we've already made a good impression with our showing in the obstacle course. And we look like we're kind of troublemakers because we did go to the principal's office. So I think we've gotten noticed by the rest of the student body.
Quite possibly, because the school did go into lock when the alarms went off. That put the school in lockdown. So everybody knows something went on.
But how many of them know it was specifically us? Maybe Molly, because she would notice that we weren't at the lunchroom, and that would be about it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And Kayla had just seen you in that hallway before. She had just left the hallway when the other guys came in.
But as far as the mass of students, nobody knows each other well enough to recognize that there's someone there or someone not there.
That's a fair point. Now,
because let's face it, we may look unique, but we're an entire school of people that look exactly as different from the norm as everybody else.
Everybody's special, so nobody's special.
When 17 people have robot parts attached to them, it's hard when someone says the android's missing. There are 17 people you've never met before with robot parts. You don't know which one's the android.
The bulk of the students can pass for a normal human.
Yeah.
The good news is you can join the robot parts club.
I don't know. He just kind of wears his robot parts. It hardly counts. Maybe if he builds a laser pointer into his index finger, they'll let him in the club. All right. I believe all of y'all were living on campus.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't want to be odd student out.
All right. So after lunch, that first day, they had taken pictures for the school IDs. By the end of the day, they had handed out the school IDs. It turns out your school ID has a chip in it that allows the security system to recognize you. So hopefully the thing with the drones won't happen again. But after essentially the school day, which was a little short and a little unusual because regular classes don't start until the next day, you were shown to your dorms. Thorn and Lacuna are both in a room.
In the same room?
Well, the way the dorms are set up is you have four small bedrooms and a kind of a central living area.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's in there with three others. Every student is in there with three other students.
Ah.
Okay. Oh, and is there a traditional gender breakdown where?
Yes.
Okay.
There is a boys' dorm and a girls' dorm, and they are on opposite ends of the campus.
Gotcha.
So who's our other roommate?
Well, I said everybody's got three roommates, so there's four of y'all.
So you have 2 roommates.
Ah.
What?
Unless one of us is like a dual. Like one
Because
of the.
we're 2 guys, 2 girls. He was asking who are our other roommates.
All right. So Blessed Thorn and Lacuna y'all are in the same little dorm segment, same suite, if you will.
And if one of our roommates is a Shazam Captain Marvel type, then we do have 3 roommates.
Well, there's 4 students to each one of these.
Let them get through this. Let them get
Sorry.
I'm just trying, man. I'm just trying. So anyway, Blessed Thorn and Lacuna are roommates, as well as a girl named Amber. Though she also tells you that she's superhero wise, she's thinking about going by Starlight Gem.
Starlight Gem. JEM.
GEM.
Gotcha. No, I should get some water. I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Oh, whatever. And a girl named Nicole, who is debating between calling herself Friendly Fire or calling herself Unfriendly Fire. She can't decide.
Sorry about that.
No problem. So I introduced the 4th roommate, Nicole, who is debating between the names Friendly Fire or Unfriendly Fire.
You don't want to be on her team.
She assures you she has only set one person on fire at her previous school.
Oh.
That was how she found out she had powers. So, like, did you want to set them on fire, or did it just sort of?
She's like, well, if you'd asked me at the time, hey, would you like to set him on fire? I'd have said yes, but I didn't really mean it. But he had me pretty pissed. And then I ran away really, really fast. So Jig was kind of up at that school. But she's like, that's the first. That's how I discovered my power. I set a kid on fire, then super speed it away.
Oh. Oh, she's the one who ran away.
Yes. Oh yeah. The dude I set on fire just kind of screamed. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't all of him on fire. It was just his coat sleeve. He still screamed a lot though.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
fire bad.
Well, I only imagine a true school for aspiring warriors is I'm assuming we're all going to be set on fire at some point. It's only a proper trial.
Amber just looks at you. Shouldn't you be afraid of fire? Aren't you like a plant girl or something?
Well, fire is a very powerful entity indeed. I afforded all the proper respect, but we are here to be we are here to be warriors. So I will not let fear get the better of me.
Oh, okay.
I might want to incorporate asbestos into my suit.
Yeah, it's got friendly fire going. Oh no, asbestos is my only weakness. Though I guess I could still punch people super fast. Never actually punched anybody though.
Punching can be a very satisfying thing to do.
I'm sure they'll teach us how to punch. Now over in the men's locker room, or excuse me, the boys' dorm. We of course have Putty and Riggajig. Remind me, what is Riggajig's actual name?
Siegfried.
Okay. I know I've got that written down right here somewhere.
No one's gonna know his middle name, so it's Siegfried.
What's his middle name?
I feel like that's plot relevant and should only be discovered in character.
Fair enough.
It is Roy, isn't it?
You are also, I think, have the full ability to just click on it and find out if you want.
Kal-El.
No, it's a middle name that Siegfried does not want people to know.
Let me see.
Lots of kids in school have embarrassing middle names. But anyway, Putty and Riggajig are rooming with a kid named Eric.
I already hate him. I already know he's gonna have a ponytail. He's gonna be aggravating. He's gonna be a germaphobe.
Okay, when I picked him to be a roommate, I completely was not thinking about the fact that our brother is named Eric, so you've been roommates with Eric before.
Yep. He's gonna have posters of Star Wars Episode 1 on the wall.
When role playing gets real.
He's always gonna demand the top bunk for no reason. All right,
I'll let you have your own separate little bedrooms this time, so you're a little better off. Okay, yeah, you had Eric and who was the other guy? And Quark.
Quark.
Though he tells you, sometimes he goes by the name Larry, but that's just a name they gave him.
So with a name like Quark, I'm assuming he's not from around here.
He looks like a normal human.
So what name would you prefer us call you between Quark and Larry?
Quark while we're here in school is fine. If we go out to a field trip or out around normaler people, you can call me Larry.
Alright. Good enough for me.
Eric just kind of shrugged.
So, any allergies or weaknesses we need to know about to not bring in the dorm room?
Any evil twins? Any?
Eric.
Do either of you have access to a mirror dimension where we're evil?
Eric kind of chuckles, and Quark's like, "No, if I had access to anywhere else, I'd be somewhere else."
Oh, you're kind of trapped here.
Yeah, I mean, not here in the school. The school's nice enough and all, but
Like either planet / dimension. Got it.
yeah, I think Dr. Weiss called it a microverse. Apparently, I'm supposed to be a whole lot smaller.
Oh, you're named Quark because you're literally the size of a quark, or roughly therein. Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's. Well, actually, he shakes it. No, it was just my grandfather's name. What are you talking about?
Oh, well then it's just a very convenient coincidence.
Yeah, Dr. Weiss said something very similar. And Eric goes, "Well, he is named Dr. Daniel Weiss. So, if you abbreviate his first name, he's Dr. Device."
Oh. Totally escaped me.
I think that's just part of the life we're in now. I mean, he goes, "I'm expecting to have plenty of people running around here with, their first names and last names starting with the same letter." Quark looks at him like he don't know what he's talking about.
They say the best ones use alliterations.
I have Siegfried thinks about it like huh.
What is Siegfried's last name?
Richter. But there is alliteration in his name. So he's just sitting there going, huh.
So anyway, the night passes, and eventually y'all get to know each other. There's cable. Excuse me. Cable TV in the little living area. The individual bedrooms don't have TVs, but the shared living area does. There's Wi-Fi through the dorms. Though there are posters up in the hallways and stuff talking about, the fact that you're not allowed to carry, cell phones into class. You can have them in the dorms, when classes are over, it's your free time, you can carry them around. Anyway, so you met your roommates. Later that night, you have dinner. All the meals at the cafeteria. It's a different set of lunch people or cafeteria workers there that night, with the exception of Hestia, who is the only person you recognize from lunch that's still there.
The toga makes it hard to forget.
Yeah, she's an easy one to spot. She talks to students and she smiles at students. She waves at students as they come in. Blessed Thorn, she makes eye contact with you and just kind of gives you a nod.
I return the nod. Oh, right. I think I see what's going on. Yes, I give her the secret divine nod. Like recognize like. And I
So the
thank her
next
for
day-
her hospitality.
Oh, yes. The next day, your alarms go off for most of you far too early. Your school uniforms were waiting for you in the dorms when you arrived. They all fit nicely. Lacuna's has been modified where it covers more. So it's long sleeve where all the other girls are in short sleeves. She's got leggings on under, so there's no part of her leg exposed or anything. And she's got permission to wear her big floppy white hat.
Killing it with that fashion sense.
Does Lacuna sleep at night?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, she doesn't have. I don't think she has the life support where she wouldn't have to sleep, so she'd have to sleep sometime.
Yeah, she has to. She probably has to.
But does she have trouble sleeping at night and then trouble staying awake during the day, or how does that work? I wonder.
I'm gonna say because she's probably compelled to sleep during the day, but forces herself to sleep at night, so she's kind of always a little bit kinky during daylight hours because she's not fully rested.
Does she take her makeup off before she goes to bed?
Yes.
I think she should push to be able to wear like a beach robe too, just for fashion sense.
I know that was
Just a moo and a hoodie.
But I'm really just asking that last part to see if your roommates would see you without your makeup on.
Yes, they would.
Yeah, Friendly Fire's like, ooh, honey, you need to get some sun.
I would, but that hurts a lot.
Oh, are you allergic to the sun?
Yeah. Apparently it'll get worse the older I get.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
You got to go for one of those full body costumes.
Yeah, I'm really not looking for the whole superhero experience if I don't have to.
Oh.
I'm just sort of here to socialize with people of my age with unusual life experiences and hopefully try and find someone who knows a little bit more about my condition than I.
Oh, what condition have you got? Oh, I mean, if you don't mind talking about it.
Well, have you ever seen that really old movie with Bela Lugosi?
Who?
Oh my god. I'm a vampire.
Oh, like in the Twilight movies. Wait, vampires are
I
real?
was there. I wish I was there because I'd be like, she's talking about Plan 9 from outer space.
That one Nicole might have heard of. That's more her speed.
I wish my life was Plan 9 from outer space. Yes, like in the Twilight movie. No, I don't sparkle. Unless you count small patches of cellular degeneration sprouting up all across my body. Wait,
I don't guess I'd count that.
Yeah.
Okuda, I tell you, it is good that you are seeking treatment now, early, before you become completely evil. I trust that the overseers and teachers here will help you find a path to not restore. What is the word she's looking for? Retain your humanity. I too am here mostly to learn how to operate amongst the young mortals of this world. Instead of learning how to use their powers, of course, as an Orisha, I need no such schooling, but it is in the ways of blending in with the people who I am created to protect. Is why I'm here. So perhaps we are here for the same reason in a way.
I mean, yeah, maybe.
I'll tell you this: there's no I would have deigned to accept the indignity of a baseline evaluation if it were not for that noble purpose of why I'm here. Baseline, indeed.
Nicole is just staring at both of y'all like, what? Amber's. So let me see if I get this right. You're a vampire, and you're like the littlest goddess.
Oh, they're much tinier than I. The Orisha of ants, for example, much smaller.
Oh well, that's only reasonable, I think. I'm gonna get to class.
No braiding and boy gossip today. Not in this storm.
Cool. We're the Freak Squad in the School of Freaks. Mental fist bump because I don't really want to touch you. No offense.
No, of course not. What was I going to say? Yes. I've come to accept that mortals will never be fully comfortable around such as I. That is why they worship instead of associate, as it were. Not that I expect you to worship me, of course. Night Flocks, I was expecting some respect from having, since she adopts the mantle of the plant herself, but I'm not. I'm here as a guest in this strange land.
Of mortals who should be worshiping.
I was expecting better treatment, but I'm a guest, so I won't say nothing about it. All right, so all y'all, the rest of you three head off to class. Nicole seems a little out of her depth dealing with it, but yeah, not completely freaked out. And she talks 90 miles a minute.
Of course,
going to class. Let's see. Over in the boys' dorm, there's probably less drama than that because all of y'all look pretty normal. I mean, Riggy Jig's got his rig, but that's clearly something he puts on, so. Yeah, nobody's punching Putty, so yeah, they don't know what he does yet.
Now that I've heard his last name, I think Putty's going to start calling him Sigrig.
Sieg is just Sieg is just making his patented monster moose in the kitchen. So what you take black coffee, you pour a monster, and then you pour the black coffee in, and it creates a chocolate, like a coffee monster mousse at the top. It's delicious.
I am
also
disgusted.
It also wakes you and your ancestors 3 generations back up.
I need to send that recipe to a friend of mine. She
That
fucking
sounds
pounds down monsters.
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, for some reason, Milk and Monster make a foam, and if you throw a little chocolate, so you make kind of a chocolate coffee, toss it in the monster, and it'll foam up on you, and you just scoop it with a spoon.
I've never had an energy drink. I have no idea what they taste like, but
Oh,
I'm sure it's fun. Coffee and chocolate, I am all about.
So anyway,
yeah.
Over in the boys' dorm, yeah, y'all get dressed, head out. If you get up early enough, there's time for a quick breakfast at the cafeteria. Though some of the students choose to sleep to the very last minute, so they have to make do till lunch. But over in the boys' dorm, about the time the rest of y'all are dragging yourself out of bed, Eric is already dressed and ready to go.
I may hate him too.
If any of you raise an eyebrow or growl at him, he's like, I lived on a farm. We up at dawn kind of thing. Even when school wasn't in session, so.
All right, then, stable hand. Have your fun with that. He's chugging his concoction.
You know those things aren't good for you.
That sounds like a theme to the campaign.
I was kidnapped by aliens. That wasn't healthy for me either. Drinks more.
He's just kind of, whoa, what kind of aliens?
The blood ones.
Oh, the ones that were talking to the UN. Okay.
Yeah. There are a couple of pockets of them that didn't wait for an okay and just started grabbing people off the streets.
He's like, yeah, I read something about that. And then while the rest of y'all are still getting dressed, he heads out to get his breakfast. Quark also seems to handle the early mornings well. He didn't get up any earlier than y'all, but he doesn't seem to be draggy like you two.
Hey, Coda. If I just lay on your back, will I sink it enough for you to carry me to class?
I'm strong enough to carry you.
You know, I should have asked if it was disrespectful to mention your elasticity like that. I'm sorry, man. I get kind of bad in the mornings. Not enough time to prep.
Batman needs prep time to beat Superman. Riggin needs
Right, exactly.
prep time to put his manners together.
I'm like 14, dog. It's hard to not be rude.
There are no manners at 14.
I accidentally hurt people in the worst possible ways at 14. You don't know to understand what people's weaknesses are. You just go, hey, that looks like a thing. And they go, this is the thing I'm sensitive about. You go, my bad.
The way I remember 14, you just sort of keep poking and looking for weaknesses.
I remember my mouth moving and saying things, even though I knew before the words came out of my mouth, I shouldn't be saying them. Just being held hostage in terror as my mouth kept moving.
Yeah,
I don't know how I am alive.
There's no moral compass on your decision chart. It just starts off with, is it funny? Yes. Say it.
So anyway, some of y'all get breakfast, some of you don't. You roll into Miss Fowler. You four roll into Miss Fowler's room. She's your homeroom teacher, which is why she was the one in charge of y'all at the obstacle course. As you all come in, she's sitting there. Oh, good morning. Technically, I'm supposed to take roll, but I don't see a reason for it to call roll since there's just the four of you I'm keeping up with. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you're all here. So this is gonna be the first normal day class. She's like, so we've got your class schedules here. Stapled with little maps of the school. Not of the entire campus, just of where the class, individual classrooms are that you need. She's like, your team will all have the same schedule for this first year. When y'all come back next year, they're debating whether to keep the team thing going the whole way through or not. Now she's like, you lucked out. You got me for English first period. So when y'all come in here for roll, you can just stay here.
You're not ready.
And, she goes to the list. Second period, you've got social studies with Mr. Turner. Third period is introduction to tactics with Independence Ray. She doesn't know if you'll have to call him Independence Ray the entire time, or Mr. Ray, or if he'll tell you his last name. She's like, I don't think he really has a secret identity. I guess he'll tell you how he wants to.
Wait, his first name's Independence?
Well, his superhero name. She looks at, you know who Independence Ray is.
Yeah, no, you said he didn't have a secret identity. That sounded like that Independence was his first name. I'm sorry. I'm waking up here. You confused me.
He can still have a funky code name and have a public identity.
Yeah, by saying, oh, he doesn't have don't know if he has a secret identity. Like, wait, does that mean Independence Ray is his actual name?
It's really Ray, Independence.
She rolls her eyes. Anyway, fourth period, you got math with Mrs. Fallhammer. Let's see, then it's lunch. Then intro to the Mystic with Wolf Witch.
Sweet.
I'm pretty sure she's just going by Wolf Witch, so she's I'm sure you'll have fun in her class. Then you got PE with Coach Brody. And your day finishes up with your science class with Dr. Weiss.
Dr. Daniel Weiss?
She's like, yes.
Oh, neat.
I'm sorry, which class?
I'm sure the fact we're rooming with Quark, who knows of him, is clearly not going to foreshadow any problems for us. Continues to sip monster.
Which class was that with Dr. Weiss?
Science.
Science, okay.
She's like, he also teaches the introduction to super science, but I don't think y'all will have that till next year. Or maybe next semester, I forget.
Ricky G just says, Lord, I hope it's soon. During the homeroom, which it's not a full length class or anything, Principal Roland comes over the intercom, welcomes you all to the first day of class, first normal day. He gives a little speech about beginning of the year, yada yada yada. He doesn't go on too long because he did get to speechify the day before. But he does go through and announce the times on the obstacle courses. Team 3, and he mentions that the team, your teams will eventually get individual names, or for the moment you're just numbered. Team 3 came in first.
Which team was that? It wasn't us.
Let's see. He rattles off the names. Eric, Kayla, Nicole, and Geist.
We've got another reason to hate Eric now.
The dude clearly has the man clearly has super speed and isn't telling us.
Second place was Team 1, which was Blessed Thorn, Putty, Rigajig, and Lacuna.
Hey, way to go, team.
Whoa.
Third place was Team 2, which was Molly, Pinball, Corkscrew, and Swarm. Seems like most of them have already come up with their code names.
Mm-hmm.
Team 5 came in fourth, and that was Amber, Jasmine, and Quark. And you remember that? You remember there being the one team that was a man, it was a person short.
Right.
And in fact, now that you know Quark, for those of you that do know Quark, you remember him being the one that had raised his hand and asked about that. And then fifth place went to Team 4, which was Stacy, Timothy, Kevin, and another Jasmine.
So they get the special attention.
And yes, he mentions they have his personal attention.
I'll bet we were a close second.
Oh, don't worry. We'll get personal attention no matter what happens.
He rattled off the times. And yeah, y'all were fairly close. I mean, it was pretty neck and neck. Really, all top 3 teams did real similar. 4 and 5 were also close together, but they just weren't close to the rest of you. But the bell rings. Students start moving around for first period. You're, of course, already in Miss Fowler's room, which is where your English class is. But 2 more of the teams come in. Team 2, which is, the team that Molly's on. And, excuse me, for English, you've got 3 more teams that come in, my bad. Team 2, 3, and 5. Which is basically Molly's team, Eric's team, and Quark's team. The last person in, though, you don't recognize. You didn't see them the day before. Oh, shoot. I may have forgotten to look. Now that I think about it, I may have forgotten to load up artwork for that character, too. Shoot. Anyway, the last person that walks in, though, is in full costume. I don't guess any of y'all are from the Pacific Northwest.
Not I.
No.
Because I think Blessed Thorn, of course, is from Africa, or from Nigeria specifically. Lacuna was from Florida, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Rigajig was... Did you ever say where Rigajig was from, specifically?
Currently in, I think it was Midwest.
Okay.
I more went like, my grandpa's from Germany, and that's kind of just like all I said.
Alright, hang on just a second. I'll have y'all a picture of the guy.
Boy. No knocking down trash cans.
And show to the players. Can everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So as he walks in, Miss Fowler calls him to the front. She goes, "This is Indispensable."
Oh. Oh, boy.
I'm ashamed of how long it's taking some of you.
Well, no, like, I immediately recognized. I'm just like, please don't have a name that's like this. You said the name finished it off. Of making it funny.
So, this is Indispensable. He's he couldn't make it yesterday. His father was just getting out of the hospital. So, he was excused absence. You might have heard the principal mention something about it when Quark was asking. She's basically like, is there anything you'd like to, anything you'd like to tell the class or whatever. He just waves, tells you he's looking forward to the school year. He's sure you'll enjoy having him here. He's from Seattle. You might have heard of his dad, Dynaman.
Ooh.
Oh, boy. Well, at least he's not secretly evil. We hope.
Let's see. Fowler then takes she takes the time to introduce each of you to him. Now his team, because he is part of Team 5. She doesn't introduce you to him because they had the homeroom together. So he walks around kind of shaking hands and whatnot, though not so much with Blessed Thorn.
think he'd be able to resist it. He'd think he'd be able to handle a thorny handshake, but all right.
Well, he starts to, and it just looks kind of awkward. He's like,
He may be unkillable, but that don't mean he ain't a bitch.
ouch.
Wait. I'm sorry, timeout. What's with the in the Discord? Why is I think we've had someone accidentally move.
What? What's all this?
Oh, Curtis is in the general chat now.
Oh,
Hey, Curtis.
I pulled him back down into ours.
ooh, someone wants to be in Gen Pop.
Oh, your robot now on us there.
It's
Frightening.
I love not knowing how this happens.
Can you hear us there, Curtis?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
You were
Yeah.
roboting out real bad there. We couldn't make out what you're saying, but now you sound clear again.
Cool.
You'd also popped out of our call for a second, and then we had to drag you back in.
Yeah, you jumped up into the general channel for some
Looking
reason.
and screaming.
Oh, I must have clicked that on accident.
We'll be okay.
Yeah, I've done that before.
All you did was miss the best joke of the day.
That figures.
All right, what was the last thing you heard me say there, Curtis?
We saw the picture of
Okay, that's a new student.
Indispensable or whatever.
Yeah,
his name was.
Indispensable. All right,
Yeah.
so you had called his name.
Yeah.
He's from Seattle. His dad is Dynaman. His dad was getting out of the hospital the day before. That's why he was not there for the first day of school.
He wouldn't by chance be visiting Earth to take it over, would he?
No. He's like, no, I'm from Earth. I'm from Seattle specifically.
Yeah, Dynaman's the guy that got hurt specifically fighting that like end of the universe monster guy.
So yeah, he was fighting Kroom, and then that other guy came up behind him and nullified his powers. He goes, but Dad's been doing this a long time, so he managed to use his cape to kind of half glide. So he hit a rooftop instead of the street, so he didn't fall as far. But
It's done.
yeah, it still messed him up pretty bad. I mean, but he's okay. He's tough. Y'all notice when he shakes hands with Molly, there's one of those real brief, clearly they're both, shaking hands hard for a second. And just about the time it's starting to look a little awkward, they break it up.
I ship it.
Putty, he kind of shakes your hand. He squeezes a bit, shaking your hand too.
Let him. I'll squeeze.
He kind of it doesn't go on long and awkward like it did with him and Molly, but he smiles and kind of points at you. It's like he's recognizing who here is super strong.
The harder you squeeze, the more putty will slip through your fingers.
And then he kind of sits
really
down with his
doesn't.
little crew.
It really doesn't feel good if you hurt Putty.
Well, it's not like he was trying to hurt. It's like he thought he was subtly testing, and everybody was super straight, caught on real quick. The rest of the class goes pretty uneventfully. There is a point when Miss Fowler has to step out of the room for a minute. That wadded up sheets of paper start start dropping on people. But every time when y'all spins around, you know, everybody in the back row is looking very innocent.
Do I walk out with like wads of paper stuck on my thorns that
If
I
you
don't
don't pick
see?
them out, there's at least one.
Why does it matter which you use? I mean, everyone's going to know what you mean, right?
But yeah, whoever was doing it was trying. It looked like they were trying to get paper wads, you know, stuck on Blessed Thorns, and maybe trying to get them to land on Lacuna's hat.
Aw.
But and then as Miss Fowler goes to step back in, there's the wind kind of kicks up, and you kind of see a yellow blur, moving around the classroom, and and just the slight scoot of him sitting back down as you see all the paper wads drop into the trash can.
Does it look like Indispensable?
He's the only one wearing yellow in the room. Everybody else is in the green and blue school uniforms.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Why does he get special treatment? Why does he get special uniform dispensation?
He's like, oh, well, if you're already an established active hero, you get to wear your costume. It's cool.
Oh, and Indispensable is known as an established hero.
Well, y'all have never heard of him, but maybe he's done something out in Seattle.
A local hero. I see.
Also, he's specifically Dynaman's child, so he's going to get some. He's going to get some nepotism. But Rigajig will also go, man, can't wait for the cameras to see who was throwing all that paper. You know, in this private school that is allowed to have cameras in the classroom.
Well, I'm sure he looks dead at you. Well, I'm sure they only check if there's been a problem. And then quieter. Don't be a narc, man.
Don't be a child, boy.
There we go. Nice.
He starts to get up, but, you know, like I said, the teachers come back in, so he catches himself and sits back down. Rest of class goes in eventually. You move on to social studies for your second period. You're in there with... and that one is just you, Eric's group, and... Indispensable's team is still in there. But it is a slightly smaller class. But as you know, as you and Indispensable's group, you know, move out of Fowler's and down towards Mr. Turner's, you can't tell that Indispensable is rolling his eyes because he's got goggles. But it's like, oh, another class with y'all, great. And then he looks over at the three of y'all that aren't Rigajig. Well, I mean, you three seem fine. You seem like cool people. But we're gonna have to watch out. We're gonna have to watch the narc.
Careful, that narc is our team captain, and that might be a surprise too.
Rigajig will turn around.
I just
I'm the
nominated.
captain?
Honestly, I like him a lot more than I like you right now, so maybe you should shut up.
Wait, who is that and to who?
That was Lacuna to Indispensable.
What did I do to you?
Talking shit about my friend? Teammate. Talking shit about my teammate.
Hey, he was just making threatening comments about the camera. You know.
Hey, rule one of these super teams, I believe, is you take one of us on, you take us all on. I've learned that much in my time here.
I wasn't trying. It's not like I was going to beat the little guy up.
And listen to Lacuna. You know, she doesn't make friends easy.
You
And I
don't
think
know me.
I'm plucking off. Blessed Thorn is plucking off wadded balls of paper off her thorns. Pointed, no pun intended, pointedly at this point as she says that.
That was just some harmless fun.
As all school Reggie keeps talking, as all schoolyard bullies say.
He sighs like he's just put upon. Fine, if y'all don't want to be fun, I won't try to have fun around you. Babies.
Oh, we're fun. We're so fun.
About that time y'all are walking in Miss Turner's class.
Mm-hmm. Which one is this? Oh yeah, social studies.
Yep. And like I said, there's the 8 of y'all walk in. There's 4 students already in there. Stacy,
what
one of the
what-
Jasmines, Timothy, and Kevin.
Was this Eric's group as well?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not Indispensable's group that goes in there next to y'all. It was Eric's group. I'm sorry.
No, okay.
Y'all still had that conversation with Indispensable's team or Indispensable in the hallway. But...
Yeah.
In fact, he splits off from his group and keeps following y'all while y'all are talking.
Oh,
and then
look at
zips back at
that.
super speed once y'all get to Turner's group.
Oh boy.
Oh,
We can take him.
Can we?
You may get to find
We
out in
have-
gym class.
We have no proof of that statement, but Lord, I
what?
want to find out.
Now, Rig-a-Jig, are you wearing your jig? Or are you wearing your rig while you're walking around the school? Or
Yeah, but that's why I've got the extra sized uniform to cover it.
that's right, because you put your uniform on mostly on top of it,
Yeah.
which is why you come off looking kind of chunky to some people.
Yeah. Did you see you get close and be like, it's kind of lumpy, ain't it?
He's not fat. He's just misshapen.
This is what that energy mousse does to you.
Mr. Turner introduces himself. He seems to be kind of boringly average. A nice enough guy. Little dry in his delivery. He kind of goes over, this is what we're going to cover, this 6 weeks or whatever. Hands out the books, launches into the first session, or first lesson. And nothing exciting.
Yeah, these are all so far all mundane, like non-super classes, right?
Yeah. You've had homeroom, English, and social studies. Of course, when y'all walk in, Eric kind of gives y'all a wave, or Putty and Rig anyway.
Rigajig's hate for Eric has been completely erased because there is someone worse.
He was getting on my nerves, but this dude's an absolute a-hole.
This
At
motherfucker
least we
threw
don't
paper
share.
wads at people and then tried to befriend them. He's either really negligent and doesn't know people, but he also calls us all babies, and I want to kill him.
I mean,
At least
sure, his dad's in the hospital now.
Because I am not allowed to play a character that doesn't want to kill the most powerful thing in the area.
At least he's not one of our roommates.
Oh, boy,
Don't.
imagine that.
Don't put that on. Don't put that evil on me.
I had considered it, but
I said I don't want to eat people, but if you pay me enough, I consider it for him.
Rigajig will turns to Luna. Please don't imply that you would eat him to me. That puts my brain in a weird place.
Not in a weird way, you know. I just pull him in close, get deep down on his neck.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you to stop there.
Just look at those juicy veins. I mean,
The rest of Eric's team is just looking at you like, what are they talking about?
We had an encounter with a very distinct individual in our last class. He's not going to be fun to be around. Little self-centered.
He's dressed in piss yellow and bastard blue, so you'll see him.
One of the guys in Eric's group starts nodding and said, yeah, indispensable. Yeah. We're roommates.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm hoping he calms down after, a few days.
I'll look at Lacuna. So, Lacuna, what blood type tastes better?
I've never really bothered to check the blood type. I mostly drink cattle right now.
Siegfried will look. Coda, we literally had this discussion in the lunchroom yesterday, where she discussed what was in the pouches.
I know,
seems
but
a bit
I'm just
rude to bring that up twice.
I'm just thinking that indispensable probably tastes better than a cow.
Yes, but like she has decidedly talked about not drinking human blood. We probably shouldn't try to pressure her to do that.
Oh, the guy that had identified himself as Indispensable's roommate. Oh, you're the vampire. Yeah, I heard about you.
Yay, I feel special.
No, I mean,
She's
nothing bad. I didn't mean that. He holds out his hand.
totally cool.
I'm Geist.
she's not officially a vampire until she swears her souls to the Netherlords, and she is most assuredly not yet done that.
What is she, a Damphir right now?
Like, how much do you know about vampires? Do you know how to fix it? Do you know how to turn me back into a person? You need to tell me that if you know how to turn me back into a person.
Everybody's looking at Thorn now.
What? Oh, I'm afraid such curses are beyond the realm of mortal ken, which is where my essence emanates from. I'm afraid to say.
Okay. Didn't think it'd be that easy, but
This whole time, Geist still got his hand out like he was ready to shake Lacuna's hand.
No,
Finally, he puts it down.
but I'm certain Wolfwitch will be more enlightening on this matter. Worry not.
Kayla speaks up then. You think she's really a witch?
Do you think she's really a wolf?
I hope she's both.
probably just like a branding thing.
I heard she was really cranky.
As long as she's magic, I don't care.
She's like the one staff member you do not want to piss off. That's just,
Kayla, I heard Mrs. Thalhammer's grumpy, but I don't know.
I mean, the name says it all, right?
I don't know. I had a teacher with the last name Kilgore, and she was sweet as a button.
That's an awesome name.
It was.
I think I found my superhero name if I ever have to do that shit. Kilgore. The vampire.
Geist and Eric kind of look at each other. They smile. They kind of look at Lacuna. Had you ever considered Twilight as a superhero name?
Oh boy.
I look at Rigajig. It's like, oh, and you thought I was rude.
Yeah. You are now third place in this room.
Yeah, well, how about Chocula while we're at it?
My mom liked those books.
Siegfried
Kayla's
turns.
like, my mom wouldn't let me watch the movies.
Am I allowed to put my hand on your shoulder, Lacuna?
Sure.
I'm sorry. And Siegfried pats her shoulder.
Thank you.
Eric and Gosh look a little okay. They're kind of like, okay, maybe we shouldn't joke about that. They both just kind of, oh yeah, sorry. I guess that's a kind of a rough thing to go through. Thankfully, the awkwardness is broken up when Turner launches into his boring recitation of the first lesson.
Oh God!
This is a democracy.
I want to die again.
For a man named Mr. T, I was hoping for so much more.
I pity the fool that threatens my constitution.
The next class is a little more exciting as you get to the. It's a classroom just off from the underground gymnasium that the obstacle course was in the day before. All the obstacle course material has been packed up, though. But like I said, you're in the classroom just off from there. Though it's actually got windows in its wall that look out into the gymnasium. Probably so whoever's in charge of the class can be in here doing work while other people are out in the gym or whatever. Teacher of this class is, of course, Independence Ray. Big time hero, member of Spear, you know. All the characters are at least familiar with what he looks like and his name.
And he would go by his first name of Ray.
So the class is to address him as Mr. Ray.
Or Mr. Gerhardt, that's his last name.
Okay.
I was trying to think if he'd be the cool teacher, but no, he's also got that military background, so he'd probably keep it formal.
Okay. He hands out. They're not textbooks. He hands out tablets. Where your social studies and English books were very just standard, curriculum school books. The tactics book, him and the Rook and a few other folks kind of put their heads together as to make a curriculum for this. So it's just PDF files on a tablet for the moment. They don't have printed books. But there's lots of pictures and videos of superhero fights loaded on the tablet.
I think schools are kind of going that way anyway.
Yeah,
probably.
If I'm not mistaken.
I have not been in school for a while, so I don't know. I won't discuss how long, but where was? Oh yeah. So the first day is all classwork, kind of reviewing famous fights, the way different heroes have used different powers, giving you kind of a basic breakdown of kind of what is tactics, how you'll have to adjust on the fly depending on who you're facing and what they can do, how you'll have to, a lot of the class will be developing specific tactics for you because everybody's abilities are different. But teaching you to think tactically is something that everybody needs.
Good point. It's not just useful in fights.
But y'all are in here with Molly's group and Indispensable's group. So this is a 3-team class.
Teams 2 and 5.
Lost my list for a second there. All right. Fourth period. Oh, and Ray does assure you that there will be a lot of work out of the gymnasium actually doing stuff, but the first couple of days is going to be book work. Fourth period is math with Mrs. Thalhammer. Other than maybe Dr. Weiss, she looks like the oldest member of the staff you've seen. She's got just a slight accent that you can't quite pinpoint where. European for sure, but she's got knickknacks around the room. There's a ruler on her desk that looks like it may be 100 years old.
Oh boy. Well weathered with the administration of discipline.
Back when she was allowed to do that sort of thing. She has a paddle hanging on the wall, but
Oh boy.
But it looks like it's bolted to the wall, like you couldn't just take it down very easily.
Just a reminder of her glory days.
Yes, yes. Oh, the rear ends that I have tanned with this. I mean, it's a math class. If your characters like math, then they like this class. If they don't, then they're not going to. Let's see. Rigajig, she calls you up to pass out books. Indispensable tries to trip you as you walk past. And the old lady is on him, she's just there. And makes him slowly drag his desk up to the front to sit in front of everybody for the rest of the class, where she can keep an eye on it.
She is old school.
The list is pretty basic, except she keeps bringing up these like old mathematicians that came up with some of the stuff. At one point she gets off on a little tangent talking about when she was in school, and it sounds like one room schoolhouse that she's talking about. Either she lived out in the middle of nowhere or she's old. Let's see, who did I say y'all were in here with? Molly's Green.
Indispensable and Molly.
That's right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Quark interrupts her stories every now and then to ask questions about stuff that you figure if he was from around here, he'd be familiar with. If she makes some kind of historical reference, y'all kind of get it. Quark seems to be baffled. At one point, Indispensable actually goes, "How old are you?" Quiet enough that he didn't think anybody would hear. She just looks at him.
I think she taught in Walnut Grove.
What's that?
So I think she taught in Walnut Grove.
I don't get that reference.
Little House on the Prairie.
If I had to guess, that's what I would have guessed.
What time period would that have been? She's like, no, I started teaching in Austria. Well, it was the Austrian Empire at the time.
A jaw drop.
I mean, that's only like World War One. That's not that long ago.
Guess that's not as far back as Little House on the Prairie.
Like, you tell me there's a super person from World War One still running around. I'm not that surprised. England had, a couple 100-year-old thing happen not 2 years ago. Pop up and try to take back over.
But yeah, so apparently Miss Thalhammer is very old school. She's been teaching a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she does let drop that she moved to the U.S. Her and her husband moved to the U.S. You know, after the Kaiser was defeated. So she's been living here in the States for a while. So after that is lunch. Once again, Hestia is in the lunchroom. Though this time you recognize several of the other lunch ladies from, well, and men. Lunch people. Cafeteria workers. I'm not sure what the technical term would be they would use these days.
School nutrition assistant.
Then yes, there are a lot of nutrition assistants in there. And you recognize it basically as the same shift from the day before. Cafeteria is much fuller this time because it's not just all you freshmen, it's some of the other grades too. Who you've been passing in the hallway, but who will only make appearances when they're applicable to the story. I don't know if any of y'all ever watched the Amazing World of Gumball.
Not here.
But when they're in their school, you never see anybody outside of their class other than Gumball's little sister. Or the staff. And you've got one episode where his sister points that out to him, and he kind of concentrates, and all of a sudden all these other students fade into vision. He's just so self-centered he never recognized or paid any attention to any of the other students at the school.
That show was amazing.
And then you have the coming on for like a whole different show that's like a teen drama in that same school that Gumball keeps interjecting himself into. Now that he's aware that they exist. Long tirade or tangent. Yeah. Basically, that's the same thing here. Servant Boy is running around this school somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But your people will never notice him because you're so wrapped up in yourselves.
He's somewhere in the ductwork.
That's not where I was going, but okay. He likes to slither down close to the furnace and just stay warm.
Just look for the next meeting of the role playing club.
They haven't started any clubs yet. That might be something he would try to start.
You absolutely would. Because he'd rather be gaming. It's one of his qualities.
All right. Where were we? All right. So, yeah, lunch goes by. And a lot of the teams kind of sit together, but you also have roommates breaking off. You know, the students are mixing and matching more here at lunch than any other time. You see the two Jasmines having some kind of discussion over which one of them has to go by their super name and which one can actually go by Jasmine. You know, since last names aren't allowed. It's not like a super angry discussion, but they're very intense, so they're very serious about it. Interestingly, that seems to be the only students whose names match it like that, at least in y'all's class. Next up is Intro into the Mystic with Professor Wolfwitch.
Siegfried is sitting there just tapping his feet excitedly, which is a lot louder because he has big mechanical boots. It's just like,
dude, stop! You're embarrassing us.
And Wolfwitch is probably like, yes, stop! You're annoying me. She's there in full costume, where I would imagine Independence Ray was in kind of just typical street clothes or typical, teacher clothes. For lack of a word. Wolfwitch is there in her full witch regalia. I'm trying to think of how far Zach, how far back does Wolf Witch go? I know she's old.
Oh, she's a little over 200 years old. Like 230, 240.
Yeah, like just barely pre-revolution.
Yeah.
All right, so she's like Muck Boot old.
Yeah, because Mugboot knew of her parents. Because her parents were also magical. We'd had this discussion in an episode.
Yeah, probably a while back though. That last season went a couple years.
Many a moons.
So she launches into, the basics of magic and, how each culture is different, but how certain basic things can be used to protect yourself and this, that, and the other. And, she tells you in the intro she will not be teaching actual spells to anyone. That will come, in later years, the more advanced classes she's covering with the actual magic users. This is a class for general knowledge because in this line of work you run into all kinds of weird stuff. Blood-sucking aliens with spaceships that make magic metal, that kind of thing.
Siegfried still has his full attention on her.
Okay, and in this class, it's Team 5 and 4 with y'all. So both Jasmines are in here.
We'll get to find out what they agreed on.
Let's see, Indispensable's here, Quark is here. Amber, who is one of y'all's roommates, the Indispensable's team. She's kind of like Rigajig. I mean, she comes in and she's just focused on what Wolf Witch is talking about. Well, nobody in Team 4 is necessarily that interested. I mean, it's a school class where you're talking about magic and monsters and stuff, so it's got everybody's attention to some degree.
I am. Blessed Thorn is particularly curious about how she will present the beings of the spirit world, like the deities and whatnot, various nature entities.
Let's see. Who would she pay attention in the class? She seems to pay the closest attention to Blessed Thorn and Lacuna. There is a couple of times when y'all look up and it just seems like she's studying you.
Lacuna's just sort of creep up a hand. Miss Witch,
Yes, Lacuna.
do you know how to cure vampirism?
Yes, but you won't like the answer.
Ooh.
Oh.
Did she even stop? Did she even continue listening after the word yes?
If Lacuna just keeps looking at her like she's waiting on the answer, well, it involves a stake, separating the head from the body and burning them in separate piles.
Ooh.
Oh,
You don't get to be alive afterwards, but the vampirism is over.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, I told you wouldn't.
Thank you.
Happy to help.
it's like, do we need to form a ring around her desk to protect her?
No, I'm fine.
Thorn will whisper, we'll find a way. Someone's going to know.
Please don't lean so close.
No, sorry.
You're fine.
I'm just picturing her saying that like a thorn sticking in her cheek.
Oh, but there's the I don't think Lacuna's told Blessed Thorn about the holy static that you experience around us divine types. Have you? I don't think you have, right? Yes.
I think she brought up that she feels weird around Blessed Thorn, and
Yeah, but
probably
that's
something about this. Yeah.
okay. I'm thinking the wording might be ambiguous enough where I might just
Yeah.
But yeah, I think she would, for at least for now, just interpret that as a caution about the thorns.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an interesting class. She doesn't get very specific about anything. It's the first day. You know, she lays down some of the ground rules. She doesn't know if any of you out there are would-be magicians, but if you are, don't experiment in your dorms.
Experiment off campus. Then we're not.
If she has to put down one demon that one of you accidentally summons, you fail the class.
Do something automatic F.
If you summon it and put it down yourself, it's just detention. She is nothing if not reasonable. The next up is PE with Coach Brody.
Oh boy.
A.K.A. Land Shark.
Oh, right, of course. How could I forget?
Curtis, how would Coach Brody introduce himself to them?
Hi, my name is Mr. Brody, and I'm a shark.
You get a couple of chuckles. Though, like Independence Ray, everybody pretty much knows who Land Shark is. That's,
yeah, it is not a secret.
That's his reputation is somewhat rehabbed after the ending events of last season. Though you are in around parts of New York, and the city had temporarily banned him from the city limits for a while. But going to court, it turns out you can't actually ban somebody from a city like that. They can only ban him from superhero activities in the city. And technically, he's teaching now, so. Is he still wearing his fin?
He might, if he's just in street clothes, he would probably have a faux hawk / faux fin. Very 90s, but you know.
But he's got a motif. He's got to stick with it.
That's right.
I mean, somebody referenced Mr. T earlier. How long was it that he was wearing all them gold chains after the 80s?
I think he still does. Maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure.
Up until Katrina, right around Katrina, he said he was doing a tour and he felt a little weird wearing all that gold. And everybody had lost so much stuff, and he hadn't really been wearing that much since.
Yeah, I think he wears like
jewelry. It's just kind of
some, just not that huge.
That's right.
Not as much.
Yeah.
He's older now. Back then, it's like no one's going to try and take it from Mr. T.
Right, that is a lot of weight to carry.
That's part of what I'm thinking. That's a lot of gold. He's getting older.
After a while. Mm-hmm.
I pity my back.
I don't wear that much gold, and I pity my back a lot. So, But PE is not super organized. You know, it's in the above ground gymnasium, so you know it's basketball for the ones that want to play basketball. The kids that just want to sit on the bleachers and read or talk or do homework or whatever, it's not a big deal.
Oh wow!
I am describing PE as it was at my school.
Okay.
I know it's more organized in some places.
Later this semester, we're going to learn how to punch.
One of my PE teachers like to leave the dog balls just a little deflated, just so they'd hurt more.
Ouch. That's evil.
Oh boy.
But boxing would be something that'd be useful for this school to teach in their PE. So
Sure.
That might come up later. I mean, with he's not going to have two of the students boxing because that would. Well, I don't know. Private school, y'all aren't going home, so a bruise or two, who cares?
I mean, we're trained to be superheroes. There's got to be at least a little bit of
violence.
And then the final class of the day is science with Dr. Daniel Weiss.
science.
Like I said, y'all saw him the day before, and he's a pretty old fella, but he still seems to be pretty spry. Still gets around. He introduces himself, tells you, he knows people as young as you. A lot of you may not have heard of him. But he was something of an adventurer back in the 30s. Most of his career predates really the costumed heroes showing up. He was close to retired by the time you really started getting a ton of the costume guys, and by the time the Primus showed up. But even in retirement, he still worked with a bunch of them. When they needed technical expertise, or they had some ninth dimensional who's he what's it that needed defusing. He was one of the people they'd come to. He's known Principal Roland for a very long time. That's why Roland came to him. He's known Roland since Roland was a boy. Come to think of it, he was probably about your age when he was getting started. Let's see, y'all are in here with Indispensable's team, Molly's team, and Team 4, who you really haven't had any real doings with. One of the it's one of the teams that's got a Jasmine.
I think we've got both Jasmines again.
Oh yeah, you would, because Indispensable's group's got the other Jasmine. In this class, Indispensable and Rigajig are far enough apart that they don't get into it, unless Rigajig just really wants to go out of his way.
Rigajig ain't done anything yet. Rigajig has only responded to dumb shit Indispensable's done. Rigajig ain't gonna start shit. Paper wads were being thrown at Rigajig's teammates. Rigajig was getting pissed.
I feel like I'm going to induce flashbacks to people's high school. But Dr. Vice tells you this is don't get your hopes up about learning any of the really weird stuff. This is a basic science class. He also teaches the intro to super science. But that'll be something you'll take the following year. That's a sophomore class he teaches. The point of this class is to make sure you got a solid foundation in the basic sciences. Because if you don't understand the basic sciences, you don't have a hope of understanding the super sciences. In fact, to be truthful, understanding the real science doesn't always help you understand the super science. But then he hands out textbooks, and it's a lot like the other mundane classes you've had today. It's just kind of the starting thing. So school wraps up for the day. Y'all are then free to return to your dorms and change back into normal clothes. If you choose, or you can wander around in the uniforms. The rest of the student body is kind of a mix of who changes and who doesn't bother. Once again, you see the Jasmines off to one side talking to each other. What's her power? Ah, yes. But so each of the dorms, like I said, I described the individual suites, but each of the dorms also has a sort of shared area. Most of the suites are on the second floor. The bottom floor has got a kitchenette, and it's got a refrigerator with some drinks. It's got little like breakfast cereal bars for those students that aren't going to get up in time to eat a full breakfast. It's got a larger TV with like a game system. And, maybe a ping pong table or something like that. It's kind of a recreational area. So a lot of the students wind up lounging around there. You've also got, like, above ground track for anybody that wants to exercise. And some of the guys, like when the boys get back to their room, Eric is changing into like jogging shorts. And he's putting some earbuds in, putting his cell phone in his pocket. Tells y'all he's going out for a jog. Ask if anyone wants to join him. You need to stay in shape for this job.
Maybe next time, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to keep the suit on for the rest of the day.
Do you ever take the thing off?
Yeah, when I sleep or work on it. But especially with what I know is going to end up happening when I go to the common area, I might as well keep this on.
You think, Indefensible there is going to pick a fight with you?
Yes, I believe Indefensible is going to be tempted to throw hands or try to bully me in some sense.
He smiles big that you caught him messing up the name. It's his first day here. Surely he wouldn't go that far.
Oh, surely. But I'd rather have this big suit on and 1,000 problems at port than go down to the common area without it and have 2 problems at sea.
Kind of quirks his head. Is that kind of like an ounce of prevention's better than a pound of
care?
Yeah.
Yes.
Better than a pound of cure, yeah. Okay. He nods his head, he heads on out. Back over his shoulder, he says he's going out the door. Last chance, buddy. Quark.
I think I'm gonna stay here this time.
Quark is less diplomatic. No, running around in a circle just sounds dumb. I think I'm just going to go downstairs and see what they're doing on the big TV. And suddenly Quark just starts shrinking. And you lose sight of him. It's the first time you've seen him use any powers.
He's going to shrink enough to fall through the floor, then expand when he gets to the first floor. That is so neat. I wish I could do that.
And then a second later, you hear a yell from downstairs. Hey, get off of me!
Yeah.
Huge with the chair. He went down too far.
All right. So what is Putty and Ricky Jig going to do?
I thought we were headed to the common area to see if there's going to be a scuffle.
Hey, Coda, do you want to go to the common area and watch Indispensable beat my ass?
Dude, I'm not going to watch. I'm here to watch your back.
No. It's best he beats me in the common area. Don't worry.
What? So I'm not supposed to help you out?
You're supposed to help me out after he hits me at least one good time and knocks me back.
Okay.
So
that'll be my cue.
All right, Coda, this is how it normally goes down, is I will go in. He will attempt some aggressive posturing. I will then go, nah, I ain't having none of that. We're supposed to be heroes here. You ain't going to act like a schoolyard bully. He'll then either push or hit me, and then that's when you step in.
Okay.
And if it doesn't happen, well, good news for us, it doesn't happen. Because I don't particularly feel like getting beat up by, someone who could probably punch a mountain.
All I'm saying is, let him punch me.
Right, but we have to let him land the first blow on me and make it his fault. Or
Sure.
we get in trouble for it.
All right, so
I'm on.
so
I'm
y'all
on board.
strategize and then head downstairs.
Yes. This is what my character does.
All right, over in the girls' dorm, Blessed Thorn and Lacuna. Y'all get over there, and Amber's just kind of lounging around, still in her school uniform. I say lounging around. She's like kind of doing a little bit of homework.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Do we have homework assignments?
A little bit. It's the first day, so not much.
Any reading? Any essays?
No essays have been assigned yet, though you have been warned that they are coming. Nicole, on the other hand, is changing into like jogging shorts and a tank top kind of thing. She goes, y'all haze, y'all walk in, I'd stay around and hang out, but Eric invited me jogging. Well, I mean, he invited all of us jogging. But as far as I know, I'm the only one taking him up on the offer. I think it's kind of cute, don't you?
Suppose his form is pleasing enough for a mortal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Do we have the general sense that fights? Yeah, we pretty much get the vibe that there's going to be a rumble, right? I mean, we can read between the lines and figure something's.
You can tell there seemed to be some kind of beef building up between.
Yeah, like Indispensable is definitely going to do something. So Blessed Thorn will thank Nicole, but will say that. I believe we have a team exercise in store for this evening.
Oh, well, have fun.
It'll be interesting, that is for sure. That is certain, to be certain. So we find out where we find out where our teammates are and see if there's going to be. Like, what's the most likely place for us? Do we have a sense of where the showdown's most likely going to be? Is there? I guess this is an entirely new institution, so there's no like established tradition for this is the place where beefs get settled.
Lacuna's just gonna text Rigajig.
Oh well, that
where
works.
Where are you at?
Rigajig will text back. Heading to the common area. Expecting aggression, gonna let it play out.
Cool. We'll meet you there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just hits it. Siegfried looks at Coda. A girl just texted me.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. He goes up for a high five.
Is this why you starting beef with Indispensable?
Gotta impress the girls.
No, I prefer everyone like me. He's just an unlikable fella.
She is cool.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna be at the common. You're gonna be at the common areas.
All right, Rejig and Putty, as y'all get down there, cause y'all just have to walk downstairs, so you can get there before the girls.
Oh wow, really misogynistic school having the common area in the boys' dorm.
Well, both dorms have one.
Oh, okay.
I'm showing off. Sorry.
there actually isn't like a joint students lounge, which is probably an oversight.
Yeah.
But the rule is basically, though, anybody can meet in either one of the common areas. You know, girls can't go upstairs in the boys' dorm, boys can't go upstairs in the girls' dorm. And there's been some vague mention of an AI keeping an eye to make sure, so you don't really know.
That's not very progressive.
Well, if it was a college, it might be an issue, but, you know, it's a high school, so nobody minds.
No one wants unplanned super teen pregnancies.
Well, that's fair enough, but you know, we may there may be. I wonder if there may come a time when when we need more than a strict binary definition. But that's above our pay grade.
The school is being run by a man from the 40s. Let's not pretend it's going to be progressive.
Yeah, we're lucky. Yeah, we're lucky enough.
And
Right?
funded by a woman that, you know, was engaged
Is older.
during World War II. So
Yeah, I guess super society does tend to run behind the times a bit. Isn't that right, Mr.
Now,
Davis?
according to the dress code, anybody can wear either type of uniform.
There you go.
So they're not completely behind the times. Though the uniforms that were just waiting for you kind of matched up with whichever dorm you were in. Baby steps, though. But anyway, as Rick and Jig and Putty get to the common area, Indispensable is already there. He has got let's see, he's talking to Quark. Let's see, Geist, and somebody from Molly's team. You think he was the one going by Corkscrew? He got him all over to one side. He's very animated. He's talking very hush hush, but he's very animated. Guys just kind of laughing, just shaking his head no. And he kind of gets up, kind of like he's waving whatever the discussion. He's kind of waving it off. All you at Kitchen Exchange is him still smiling. Guys walking, no, hey, don't worry about it. I ain't in the dark. But no, count me out. And he kind of, he waves to you two as he sees you. Guys waves to you two as he sees you come in. He goes over and plops down on the couch next to the guy on the PlayStation.
Ricky Jake will obviously wave back, but because Geist has done nothing wrong.
And I'll go sit on the couch with the PlayStation stuff too.
There's two guys. They're playing the latest Mortal Kombat game. I forget what number they're up to.
I'll act like I'm interested in that since Sigrid wants me to let this play out.
If it's modern day, it'd be 11.
11, okay. I wonder what Injustice would be like in this world. Would it still be the DC characters, or would it be the characters that y'all have encountered? Oh, yeah, it's a whole video game about the Primus going evil.
Well, see, in a world where there's superheroes like this, there wouldn't be any like management games because superheroes were supposed to be like a hush hush kind of thing. It would be some kind of fighting game, obviously. I don't know. It's an interesting idea to think about, though.
Of course, in the Marvel universe, you still have Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time in the 80s, Captain America made his living drawing the Captain America comic book.
They're legally binding documents according to She-Hulk. Like they're admissible in court and everything. And that's what one of my favorite bits about the Dan Slott one is that's what the comics code does in the Marvel universe. It ensures designed to ensure that everything is legally, even details may be fudged, but everything in the comic books are supposed to be like legally true and therefore admissible in court.
Nice.
So they have an intern whose job is to do research by pulling long boxes all day.
It's the sort of paralegal work I could do.
The perfect job.
Right.
Right, Mr. Doobles? Yeah.
All right. But Quark slowly starts nodding his head like, okay. Quark seems to be enthusiastic about whatever it is Indispensable is talking about. Then Indispensable notices you two coming in. Putty, he doesn't really pay any attention to. Now he's got his mask pulled back, so you can see him kind of, narrow his eyes at Rickajig. Alright, we'll talk about this later. The narc just walked in. But it's a stage whisper, so the narc can hear him.
Ricky Jig will just kind of laugh to himself and look around the room for what he feels like doing.
Like I said, there's a ping pong table. There's the video game system, though. You've got, two guys playing it and two more sitting on the couch on either side of them. By then, the girls show up. And as y'all were walking across the campus, y'all weren't the only ones from the girls' dorm headed over. And you pass a couple of the guys that are crossing back over, so. And you just can in the distance see the track, and you see Eric and Nicole running track. He's going at a pretty good pace, and Nicole is turned around backwards just in front of him talking to him.
Track just sounds so exciting. Which is why I'm built like I am.
Putty strikes him as a football player. I mean, his powers would become pretty obvious when he got tackled,
Right.
Point. It might make catching the ball hard, too. I'm not sure.
It might.
It hits me, and then it just springs away.
Although strategically, it would just, bounce back to whoever threw it, so it might throw off the other team.
But if they counted it as you passing the ball, I don't know.
I think you're allowed to pass the ball as long as it's not forward, right? Isn't that how that works? My very limited knowledge of football.
Yes, I believe you are right. It's just a forward. So if he was catching it, if he was running out to catch it, to receive it, and then it bounced it back, yeah. Somebody needs to do a superpowered football game. I mean, you've got Blood Bowl for like Warhammer.
And it's real fun, but it's not super powered.
Now I've got a future football game that's like cyborgs playing football.
Oh.
I've never played it. I bought it for the miniatures. They make really good like robotic and armored thugs for superhero games. So anyway, the ladies arrive. And like I said, you're not the only ones that have come over. One of the Jasmines is there. Though she tells you she's walking across, her and the other Jasmine have finally come to the group. Their buddies can call them whatever. They'll officially be going by like their superhero handles.
The The Jasmine Accords.
I like that. So yes, the Jasmine Accord. So she'll be. So she's like, So she'll be going by Some Zero, and the other Jasmine is Mischief Maker.
Huh.
She's like, the other Jasmine was actually somebody's sidekick for a little while.
Which one? Some Zero or Mischief Maker?
Mischief Maker. Some Zero's the one talking to you.
Ah.
She's like,
I wonder who. See, anyone have any guesses who the mentor would have been? Are there any?
There's a hero name. There was a hero named Mischief.
And the sidekick was named Maker. That's curious. The Mischief Maker.
Well, that's what she's calling herself now. She's like, I don't think that was her sidekick name.
Oh, yeah, that would be odd for a sidekick to be the maker of the mentor, wouldn't it?
But yeah, apparently he died.
Oh.
Yeah, been just a couple of been a year and a half ago. She didn't really want to talk about it or go into detail on it, but it came up.
Yeah, it's got to happen fairly common. That can't be. It shouldn't be surprising amongst students of our background. It's a hard life, right?
She's like, yeah, I didn't know any super people until I became super. But
how'd you become super?
Mom had to work late, so I got dropped off over at her lab, and they were about to cut her funding, so she was, trying to rush to get some results, and well, she got some results, but it wasn't quite what she was aiming for.
Parental neglect gotcha.
More like she was paying a little too much attention to from the getting too much attention from parents. Perhaps.
Well, it was just an accident. I mean, I happened to be in the room when I don't know, there was some kind of explosion. I don't really remember much of it.
Is she okay?
Yeah, I mean, we were both in the hospital for a little while, and she didn't get powers or anything, but she's fine now.
Good.
And I'm sorry, her name was Sub-Zero or Sub-Zero?
Some Zero.
Some. Okay. S-U-M.
S-U-M.
Gotcha. That sounds like I don't know, inertia type power. We'll find out someday.
Oh yes, in the tactics classes and some other stuff, special event type things, you'll find out what everybody does eventually. And truthfully, you're teenagers. I'm surprised everybody's not just asking everybody.
Right. It's
True.
But then everybody's also kind of like, or am I supposed to keep it a secret? Is it like our name?
Right. Is there a special social media app for superpowered teens?
There is not.
Caper.
Though I imagine if you have a few more super tech guys wandering around the campus, there will be eventually.
Mm-hmm.
They'll just set the server up in somebody's room, and it'll only be in the school's Wi-Fi accessible.
Right.
But as y'all walk in, y'all see Indispensable over to one side with a couple of guys. You see Putty sitting on the couch. I'm not sure what Rigajig would have found that he was interested in.
Ping pong.
So he's over there playing. Are you playing ping pong in the rig?
Yes. I have promised my opponent I'm not using it, though. It's just hard to take clothes off, pop the rig off, put clothes back on.
Let's see, who are you playing? You were playing Tim. Though he tells you he's going by Stonehenge.
Stonehenge, that's a cool name.
And he asks you, does the suit make you faster or anything?
To a degree, but trust me, you would hear and notice when the compression's happening.
Oh yeah, you got the whole steampunk thing going on.
And also, I'd be spinning in a circle.
Oh yeah, that'd be pretty noticeable, I guess. So yeah, as y'all walk in, Corkscrew's just playing ping pong with another guy. Big guy, putty size. I mean, not like he's huge, but for a freshman, he's a pretty good sized guy. He's already filling out some. And like I said, Putty and 3 more students are sitting on the couch with a violent video game playing. Indispensable sees y'all walk in, stands up. Ladies!
Oh boy.
Why are you talking to me?
Well, you walked into the room, so I was going to greet you because that's kind of a polite thing to do.
Nah, you could.
But if you want me to exclude you, I can. And then he turns and looks just at the other 2. Ladies! Is that better?
Please go evil one day.
Nah, man. Nah, lady. How would he put it? Oh, girl, please. I've got a heroic legacy to live up to. I mean, Dad's gonna get old eventually, and then somebody's got to watch Seattle. And then he pointedly turns to not be looking at Lacuna and just looking at Blessed Thorn and Sub-Zero. So what brings you 2 by? And hey, look, I'm sorry about the paper wads. I was just goofing. I hope you didn't take it too personal. Just excited to be in a new school, that's all.
We just came to hang out with our friends. Make sure things stay amicable.
Yeah, cool. How warm or cold? Mike, I think your camera's turned down a little bit.
Oh, that's on purpose. Is the boys distracting? Because I just like showing off my cat.
Oh, you're showing off the cow? Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I just looked up and I only saw you from the nose down. I was like, does he know?
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to keep my face on screen at the same time, but
pretty kitty.
I know I love this little boy. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, exactly. So Blessed Thorn is going to try to she's going to try to take the mature eons of existence path of maturity here and simply say that everything okay. So Indispensable. I've in my long existence, I have seen generations come and go, and I've seen many proud chieftains' sons who have taken the station to which they're born as an excuse to
Be right back.
act with haughtiness over their fellow mortals. She says, and she's giving up the full like regal vibe as she discusses this and says, we're all here to learn how to operate as heroes and guardians in this society, and that will be easier for us all we treat each other with let's see, how would you put it? With respect and not lord over one another with attitude. It's good. This school year will be much easier if we do that. Perhaps you're frustrated with what is going on with your father, and this may be bringing up the dynamite situation could very well be a faux pas, but
His face tightens up a little bit.
Yeah, Blessed Thorn is out of touch, so she's just going for the blunt, straightforward thing. But please, I think it'll be wise for us all. And I certainly, just speaking for myself, I would greatly appreciate if we could just try to show a little more respect towards one another. I would consider it I would be grateful, especially since the young man with which you've been butting heads is a teammate, and I see great potential in him. And
cool. As long as we're cool, that's
Yeah. I googled the term narc, and I assure you, rigging is not that.
Well, he started talking about the camera. I was worried he was going to be a narc. Okay. And Sub-Zero was just looking at you the entire time you're giving that speech, like it's clear with her. She does not sound like a normal girl her age.
Right. I thank you for your time.
After that, though, Indispensable wanders over to the ping pong table.
And there we go.
I got next game. It's Stonehenge shrugs. Oh, hey, cool, man. Taylor, give me a coordination roll, I guess. Just see who wins the next game.
Mm-hmm.
I slap it a 10.
Okay. It's a real close game. You wind up beating Stonehenge, though.
Does Stonehenge give off any visual indication of what powers might be? I think Blessed Throne would just assume that he turns into something big and rocky at some point, but who knows?
Siegfried hopes it's magic.
Oh, well. Yeah.
Well, like I said, you'll find out what all your classmates do at some point.
Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah.
But
I'm sure there's plenty of speculation to buzz.
So Stonehenge hands his paddle off to Indispensable. He gets on the other side.
Good game, Stonehenge.
Oh yeah, he's like, I want a rematch sometime. You're pretty good.
Oh, thanks, man.
He kind of wanted to watch the video games getting played.
All right, Indispensable. We playing to 11 or 21?
Yeah, let's go 21.
All right. And remember, this is a ping pong ball. Anything above Mach 2 will rip it in half.
I play ping pong back home. I know how easy I got to be on the balls.
Siegfried chuckles a little bit. Sorry.
He rolls his eyes.
Hey, I'm 14. Immaturity is a thing.
Yeah, I'm 49 and I joke about that.
Pretty good.
Anyway, your thorny friend over there has assured me that you're not a narc.
Nah, I just didn't appreciate stuff being thrown at teammates.
I understand. Like I said, it was in fun. I've apologized to him.
And I appreciate the apology. It shows maturity.
Good. I'd like, hopefully we can get along. And mid-word, he serves. All right.
Good. I was afraid we were all going to be grown-ups here.
This is now a ping pong battle.
This is now a ping pong battle.
Great.
We're going to do 3 rounds, basically. So, 3 rolls. He gets a
Balls of
+2 on
glory.
the first one because he's trying to catch you by surprise with his serve.
Mhm.
All right, so his coordination.
This is balls of glory too, people.
All right, so he's got his coordination plus his athletics, and he gets a +2 for this round. All right. So he got 13 on the first round.
Oof.
Yeah, he rolled the best he could roll.
Oh, he rolled max. All right. I'll go ahead and just take the hit on this one. Just do a natural roll and lose it.
So that's a 10. So he got a major. All right. Second one. So yeah, so he gets the quick cheap point that time, and then he'll go back and forth. He's coming out better. And then the second one. Oh
Man, another max roll.
yeah, the dice roller is liking me today. So he got a total of 11.
All right. A little mad about getting cheaped out. I'm going to go ahead and tap equality.
Here
Don't
we go.
disregard me.
All right, so you're spending a point. You said you were tapping which one of yours?
Don't disregard me.
Okay. All right, where 11's the one to beat.
Boom, baby. Got a 12. I've somehow rolled 5 on all 3 rolls.
All right, so you're getting the better of him the second round. Though you beat him by 1, so that's just a moderate success. And then the third one. Oh, this could be your chance.
Oh.
Boom. Maximized. We got this, boys.
All right, so that's a major success. So you both had a major success, and then you had a moderate one. So the overall game it's not as close as you and Stonehenge's game, but it's pretty close. I mean, clearly if y'all did this a lot, you're both going to be competitive with each other. The look on his face, he clearly wanted to beat you pretty badly. But he doesn't throw a hissy fit or anything. Good game, man.
Oh, yeah. Good game. Could have gone either way.
Like Stonehenge said, I'll get you in a rematch at some point.
I'll keep preparing in case.
So now, did the ladies wander over while he was having his match?
I actually I would like to whisper to Lacuna and ask if she would be interested in a little extracurricular research on that, that topic, our recent topic of discussion regarding her health maladies.
I wouldn't be adverse to it.
What do you say about a late night library study hall sesh into the good stuff, as it were, as in this whatever inevitable secret archives may be locked up underground? I mean, Wolfwish must have like some kind of arcanum or library, or what would the proper term for it be? A collection of private grimoires. And perhaps
A sanctum
wrong.
sanctorum.
thank you, yes. And perhaps we could find the answers there. I refuse to believe that someone who would be selected to teach magic at this academy would not really truly know a cure for vampirism.
Oh, well, that'd be wrong and breaking the rules, and let's go do it right.
Excellent.
So y'all are there just a couple of minutes, and then y'all split.
Did I just
Did
roll that?
Siegfried see them split?
You'd have been in the middle of your ping pong game, so you might or might not have noticed. And if they didn't walk up and actually speak to Putty, he'd have had his back to him, sitting on the cap, so he might not even know y'all were there.
He was interested in stepping in if there was a fight. He would have been watching the match, I'm sure. Hoping that it would have turned into something more.
Well, apparently there's not going to be a fist fight.
Maybe not this issue.
But very shortly thereafter, you do notice Indispensable, Quark, and Corkscrew. They just kind of all get up at the same time and leave.
Mm-hmm.
Siegfried walks over to Geist. Howdy, Geist. I know we haven't talked much.
Oh yeah, just y'all have met and had a couple of classes together.
Yeah.
Oh hey man. Well yeah, we haven't talked much, but it's first day, or first real day.
But obviously, Indispensable's planning something. I know you're not involved in it. I know you are not a narc. Just don't let anybody get hurt.
I doubt anything's going to come of it. I mean, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything bad. Technically rule breaking, I guess, but not, They're not like going and raiding the girls' dorm or anything stupid like that.
All right. As long as it's nothing dangerous. Quark is, a dorm mate, so I don't want him to get hurt.
I mean, after all, Indispensables, he has had some experience doing the hero thing. I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't drag him into anything dangerous. Of course, if you're bulletproof, what do you consider dangerous?
At this point, Rejig would probably notice that the people that texted saying they were coming over are not in the room.
Well, you had noticed they walked in at some point, but yeah. Oh, yeah, they're already gone.
Yeah, I figure I think Blessed Thorn thinks, I've achieved peace here. I don't need to be around anymore.
My work here is done.
I will go ahead and text down to Luna. Everything okay?
Yeah, we good. Didn't seem like he was gonna try and kick your ass. We had a talk.
Oh, thank you for the support. Do you need anything? me and Coda will be around.
Just the letter K.
I'll look over his shoulder and say, "That's for Coda."
You know what, buddy? Sure. You got a text from a girl too, and pats him on the back.
So the two ladies get over to the school library, and it's its own building with just like a little glass hallway connecting. Almost like a covered walkway, but it's actually got walls on the side, but it's mostly windows connecting it to the main school.
Mm-hmm.
When you get there, you've got an hour or so before they lock the doors. So you want to do a lot of intensive research, but you can try and find the areas you're looking for.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily expecting to find it in the common library, but yeah, let's start there.
You walk in, there's still one librarian kind of on duty.
Okay.
What you really need is Wolfwitch's personal private library.
Yeah, exactly. Is the librarian Athena by any chance?
No, it's actually a guy.
Or Thoth?
And he's got kind of the tweed sweater sort of thing going on.
Of course.
If you picture a male librarian at like a school, this is kind of what you picture. Almost think Giles from Buffy.
Right. I was already there.
He does not, however, have a British accent. Oh, yeah, when he walks in, "Oh, can I help y'all?" Not having to write research papers on the first day, are you?
This is independent study.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if you need any help finding anything, just let me know. I mean, I got to lock up in an hour, so, I'll have to run you out then. But...
All right. Yeah, let's start for the obvious. V is for vampires. Huh? Or no, I don't know. Where would vampires be in the Dewey Decimal System?
Fiction?
In this world, not necessarily. Could be under biology in this world.
Not necessarily people would want to admit they were real.
Yeah.
Again, this is just stage one of research. Like as we're looking around, I'm almost really looking for like secret doors to what I'm guessing may be the secret sanctum for the good stuff.
All right, give me an awareness roll.
Awareness is not my thing. Wait, do I? No, I do not have anything that could help with that. 6.
Could I add my occult or linguistics roll to this awareness?
You're looking for where they would stash the good stuff, so I'll let you put your occult in there just because you might have read up on secret libraries and how people hid their libraries.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is with the bonus.
Okay.
Roll 10.
Difficulty to beat was a 5 because the fates
Look at
smile
that.
on you.
Yeah.
Yes, over in one dark corner of this main open room. And basically you've got the ground floor. You got a second floor that kind of rings with the middle is open all the way to the roof. But there is a second floor that kind of rings the building. But over in one of the dark corners on the first floor, you do find a little stairwell leading down. Just glancing down, you can see the door at the bottom, and it's got kind of one of those cages doors pulled across it.
Oh, this is
Like
ominous.
Like a portcullis, like a castle gate or something.
Not quite.
Okay. Cage.
It's like the little crisscrossing bars, accordion. You could open it, they kind of accordion.
Oh, I got you. Like those old timey elevators.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Oh boy.
Like you'd open that and slide aside and just have access to the door. In some
So-
libraries, they have that sort of thing, or just flat out cage doors, where they keep like their valuable, first edition books or valuable stuff. Or Lacuna, with the research you've done into the occult, occult libraries might keep their dangerous stuff back behind this sort of thing. I mean, this is a high
we
school,
found the good
so
shit.
yeah, this is a high school, so how dangerous the dangerous stuff is,
It's a super high school, pretty dangerous, I would guess. Yeah, so that's I would like to quietly walk down, and then when we get to the bottom, are we even able to see what's beyond the gates, or is it just
on the other side of the gate? There's like a regular wooden door that looks like any other door in this place.
okay?
Is the gate locked?
The gate is locked.
Is it just like a little turnkey lock, or is it like a padlock?
It's just a little. The lock is just built into the gate, so yeah, it's just a little circular thing with like a regular looking keyhole.
Would it be possible for Blessed Thorn to use her telekinesis, or even do I even dare try to stunt and use my one of my thorns as a lockpick? Given that I don't really have any lockpicking training.
It's definitely the sort of thing a high school kid would try.
Good point.
Working. Snap. Oops.
And I've
Now,
activated the
centuries-old
death
goddess
trap.
that just looks like a high schooler. Who knows?
Come here, buddy. With us.
Yeah, if not, like if the thorn doesn't fit in the lock hole, I may actually try to use my telekinesis, and then the question would be then, could I reach in with my mind and manipulate tumblers that I can't visibly see?
I would let you power stunt to make the attempt.
Mm-hmm.
It's a burn of determination, tap of quality, and try to power stunt. I don't know, alteration, locked to unlocked, locked. I'd let you make a roll with the telekinesis, though.
Okay, I'll go and do that. My character only gets one determination point, but I'm determined to see how far we can get. And if we don't get through it today, at least we know how to. At least we're one step closer, and we'll, hopefully we'd be able to like replicate again or whatever. But let's see if we can do that. So I would like to do that. I'd like to tag. What am I tagging? I think I'm tagging. Well, no, actually, here's the next question. Can I justify it with my qualities? This may be something that's beyond. I am an Orisha, a Yoruba Orisha. I'm a delicate flower, and I'm out of touch. I'm not entirely sure I could justify stunty lock picking under those qualities. This may be something that's just kind of beyond my ken to push, at least as I currently stand.
Clearly, I must just tear the lock out and then get it.
I mean, that's an option, but I'm thinking that's going to set off like some sort of ward or something.
No, what's the chances? What's the chances that 5 seconds after y'all get in, a pissed off wolf witch is going to step out of the shadows?
Well, you know what? I don't want to. What do you think of? Because this is your call. I don't want to leave you hanging here, but if
I don't see really where one of your qualities really goes into this. This really seems to be outside of her kind of bailiwick.
I agree. So so Thorn will turn to Lacuna and say, I must ask you, how badly do you want this?
This is a really bad idea.
We'll find a way.
She's going to grab the Glock.
Oh, okay.
Grab the gate and just push it aside.
Ooh, okay.
All right. What is Lacuna's strength.
7.
All right, give me a strength roll. Let me see. Where's the material strength? Let's see. Iron is a 7, but these things aren't particularly. It's not a particularly thick something you're trying to break here, so.
And as long as you're not vulnerable to cold iron.
Nope.
That's more of a faith thing, I know. As Muck would tell us, no doubt, with enthusiasm.
All right, so you got a major success. So you hear the metal screech a little bit, and then give, and the cage slides open. Basically, where the thing was locked shut, the little hook is still there. You've literally, over in the door frame, kind of bent the metal that it was hooked on enough that it slipped out.
We need to work fast.
All right, let's bust in and see what we can find here. This may be a thing where we're just snapping pictures with our camera phones of any text we find, because I don't know. We can't really linger around very long to read casually, right?
Yeah.
We can do this. We can do the reading and studying back at the dorm rooms.
Bruno's gonna step through the gate and open the door.
All right, the wooden door opens just fine. Light switch over to one side, it flips open. You've got a. It's kind of a circular room. Bookcases all along the walls. Big round reading table in the middle. There are markings on the floor. Lacuna, give me an occult roll right quick. See if you can identify. You just need a 5 or better. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's protective stuff to keep, like, any kind of evil magics at bay.
Yeah, we'll be safe here. What can go wrong?
Though it would also keep evil from getting out.
Oh.
Maybe it's just supposed to stop stuff from moving around.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, let's see. Well, you rolled it. You only had to have a 5. You beat it with a 12, so.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
You get the impression that even if you were reading a cursed book in this room, you would be at least partially protected from it. Nothing about it looks like alarms are going to go off if people walk in or anything. I mean, you're a vampire. You might count as evil, but nothing seems to be happening to you when you walk through, so you think you're okay.
Phew.
Most of the books on the shelves look pretty old.
Do any of them have any identifiable titles on the spines?
A lot of them do, but not all of them. There is one bookcase that's got its own kind of cage door on the front of it, with etchings like on the middle.
Bet that's the good stuff.
I don't advise
Probably all the
touching
good stuff.
one.
Most of those etchings, there's definitely a ward. I'm going to let you just keep using that 12-year-old. There's definitely wards on there to alert people if this cage is open, as well as things to keep whatever's in the cage from getting out.
Oh.
You can't tell exactly what all's in there, but at least one of those books looks suspiciously like the cover is maybe made of human skin.
Ew.
That is really unsanitary.
And one of the books book spines has an eye on it that you think is following you around the room.
Yeah, let's not bother that bookcase. So, all right, look for anything that looks like has anything to do with the undead, formed, vampires. Let's just try and be quick about this.
All right.
All right, so y'all start pouring through books. You find one book that talks about the origins of vampirism, but it's kind of it presents multiple theories on how vampirism may have started. Maybe it was the curse, God laid on Cain out of the Bible. Maybe it started, in Northern Europe. It talks about, myths in Greece of bodies getting up and doing stuff. Basically, they have no idea. Basically, it sounds like the writer has no idea how vampires started. Here's all the potential myths. Here's all these similar stories from around the world. You run across one vampire that, Lacuna's probably very glad she's not. Where when it goes to feed, its head and internal organs lift up out of the body and fly off.
Ooh.
Why?
And then have to soak themselves in vinegar to, once they're full of blood, they come back, have to soak in vinegar to shrink back down enough to get back into the body.
That might be even grosser.
Yeah, that's I can't remember if it's the Philippines where that myth comes from.
Pretty sure it's the Philippines, yeah.
It's somewhere over there.
Yeah, one thing I've learned over the past couple of years, white people have a lot of interesting mythologies.
Yeah, one of the cultures over around that area also have these sort of vampiric night hags that you would also find them listed in the book. They look like normal women during the day, and then when they go out hunting at night, they become kind of vampiric haggish sort of things.
Not haggis, haggish.
Yes. But they'll marry people and be like the normal housewife up during the day, and then, like I said, go out hunting at night once the husband's asleep. So there seems to be a lot of variation in vampires.
Okay.
The author does mention which varieties he's personally encountered. You eventually figure out that this was written by some sort of vampire hunter.
Does any of that sound familiar to your own story? Oh.
A few. I don't really remember a lot about what happened.
Oh.
Try not to think too hard about it.
What we would think of as the standard vampires seems to be the most common. Definitely seems to be the sort, Lacuna, that you would fall under.
Yeah.
Not an Nosferatu, but those embarrassing rat teeth. Just
don't you make fun of my precious boy. He is wonderful.
Is that the closest we could find to a book that's clearly about vampires?
That's the first one you found. Now, there's another one that's
Okay.
on curses in general that references vampirism. And it speaks of vampirism as though it is a curse laid on people. Like you could just, out of the blue, put a spell on somebody to make them a vampire. It doesn't specify if that person could then spread it like, you typically think of vampires as spreading it. So far, though, none of the books you find make any references to being able to cure it. It's like none of these authors seem to have even considered the ideal. It's all on, this is what they are, this is what they can do, this is where they come from, and more importantly, this is how you kill them.
Great! That makes me feel so safe and secure.
Y'all been poking around in there for a while.
Yeah, I may take a few choice snapshots just to, if nothing else, just so just to get like a summary of like what things I should be researching on my own or on our own. If in case we can't just like capture a complete text on our cell phones. And apart from that, I think just because just because we have not solved it now doesn't mean there is no solution. We'll figure this out.
Y'all certainly have not managed to get to the entire chamber down here.
Yeah, who says that this will be the only time we get to be down here? Who knows?
And the books are not they're not using the Dewey Decimal System down here.
Right.
You're having to go through and just check book by book. All right.
Dang.
Right. So if nothing else, we'll just mentally bookmark where we left off in our search, and then if we ever get back in here, we'll just continue on until we find something.
Yeah.
About that time, you hear the librarian calling out, "Ladies, if you're still in here, it's time to go."
Oh, okay.
We need to go.
All right. Put everything back. I would have, of course, I would have been using telekinesis because I would be ripping up pages left and right if I were actually thumbing through them. So hopefully no thumbprints or thorn prints. And I'll just put everything back. I'll try to put everything back the way we left it. And now about that lock.
Yeah.
You said the lock was actually busted, right?
Basically, where the latch went into the door frame, the metal around the door frame is actually what bent and gave.
So I'm
it
gonna
did enough that the hook was able to kind of come loose.
Are we able to bend it
like-
back?
Smush it back into place.
All right, give me another strength roll.
Nice.
Yeah, the dice will relax you today. So yeah, you're able to, any close examination is going to see, discoloration where the metal got bent one way and then pushed back the other way. But you managed to get it kind of pushed back and get the door kind of latched back on there. So, maybe nobody will notice. Maybe you'll be arrested tomorrow. Who knows? Luckily, Blessed Thorn wasn't physically touching anything, and Lacuna wears gloves. So,
right.
So y'all hustle back upstairs. When you step out from around the bookcase, the librarian's like, "Oh, there you are." He goes, I didn't hear the door ding, so I knew y'all were still in here."
Oh yeah, we're just just
finishing up our research.
Got some good outlines. Yep. Did some good outlining. Good note taking. Yes.
We'll be heading out now. But thank you for your patience.
And he walks you to the door. He goes out. When y'all go out, you see him turn around. He locks it. He hits several light switches. The library doesn't go entirely dark. There's a few lights they keep on. And then while y'all head back to the dorms or wherever, he's heading off to one of the parking lots. So about an hour has passed. What has Putty and Rigajig been doing in that hour?
What have we been doing? Anything exciting? I mean, it looks like, the fight didn't happen, so Petty may stay and play the video games. I don't know.
Yeah, try to make some friends.
All right. You chew the fat with several more people. Where Thorn and Lacuna had dipped out pretty quick. Some Zero hangs around for a while. Amber ends up coming in at some point. She fills you in on the Jasmine Accords.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Somebody eventually gets like a little Mortal Kombat tournament going. Let's see, where was I? Geist winds up being like the best Mortal Kombat player there.
Does he do Shiva ground pound spam? If he does, I hate him.
In that case, no. I'll save that strategy for Eric when he plays.
He's back, baby.
But where you had seen Indispensable, Corkscrew, and Quark leave earlier, they had headed upstairs. As the tournament's wrapping up, you see him come back downstairs and walk out of the building. Indispensable has got his mask pulled back up. And the other two are in their street clothes, and none of them are wearing their school uniforms. Though Quark was, I think, in his uniform when he first came down here.
Man, my room's gonna be all messed up.
Were they doing the marijuana
Oh my god.
kind of gym?
It's the marijuana and the heroin.
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know. You gonna follow them and find out what they're doing?
Well, no, they just came from upstairs, so if I go upstairs, I'm assuming my room's messed up somehow. I ain't following Indispensable into the night.
Where do you go? Do you go upstairs?
Yeah, once I see him come downstairs, with Quark having changed clothes, I would definitely be interested in going. Probably
you go
mess
back-
with my room somehow.
You go back upstairs. Nothing seems to be amiss in your room.
Well, that's lucky.
A quick glance around. Nothing's missing. There's nothing. Nothing has been left on your pillowcase, or
No flaming bags anywhere.
Yeah, doesn't seem to be anything weird. Nothing weird has gone on.
Not a horse head on his bed.
No, it won't escalate to that till session 3,
Mhm.
issue 3. But Putty, what do you do when you see this?
When they come back,
Well, when they come downstairs and leave, and Riggy Jig's basically like, I bet they did something in my room, and he heads upstairs.
I'll follow. I'll go with Rigajig.
Okay, then like him, you see that they hadn't done anything to his room. If you glance in your specific bedroom, there ain't nothing in there either.
They don't hate me yet.
Yeah, Rick Jake will be like, all right then. I guess he's gonna probably keep it just between me and him on like a try to do better than me in everything situation. Cool, I can deal with that.
I need Blessed Thorn and Lacuna to give me awareness rolls.
Okay. Oh, another 6.
How about
Where
that?
is it? A 4.
All right. So Blessed Thorn won't notice it unless Lacuna points it out to him. As y'all head back to your rooms, you see Indispensable and Corkscrew
Oh, in our rooms.
as you're headed towards your rooms. You're headed towards the dorm. So this is out
Okay.
on the out on the campus.
They're heading towards our rooms.
They're headed to that side of the campus,
Okay.
and they're like hiding behind stuff and then moving quickly to the next something.
Hey, Thorn, look at Dixie Cup and Goomba.
When they move, Indispensable is moving at super speed, and Corkscrew, he spins kind of like your buddy.
I was wondering about that.
So, what do you think they're up to?
Let's observe and find out.
Yeah.
Do you want to text Do you want to text the rest of our team?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna try and catch get a photo of them on my phone and.
And they seem to be about the two of them seem to be about the same speed as there. And it's just this quick start and stop. Like they're keeping trying to keep hidden from like anybody that might be in the main building. You know, any of the staff that might still be in the main buildings.
Snap a photo. Dumb and Dumber are doing dumb things. Going to tail.
Corkscrew, when he starts spinning and stops spinning, is a little disturbing. Because it's like he's rotating at the waist.
Oh.
Ew.
You know, the top of his body will start up. And then it's like the lower half catches up and he takes off. And then they slow down at different speeds. And they're not always spinning the same direction. It's freaky to look at. Like I said, he looks like a normal person walking around. But yeah, when he uses his power, it's kind of creepy. And yeah, as you kind of, they're moving a lot faster than you, but they're taking the time to kind of duck behind stuff and look around. So you manage to keep them in sight. They get, basically to the girls' dorm and kind of circle around it. It's clearly not their target.
Okay.
You realize the parking lot is the direction they're headed.
Okay.
Maybe they are just smoking behind the girls' room.
Maybe.
So they get to the parking lot, they get to the road, they look around to make sure they're not being seen, and then they take off down the road at full speed.
Oh, they're
heading into town, apparently.
Okay.
at full speed. What are the rules about us going off campus after hours?
Well, one, you have to have permission. And at y'all's age, probably some kind of chaperone. I mean, clearly they are sneaking off. I mean, that's just obvious at a glance.
Mm-hmm.
What is their top speed?
Fast helicopter.
That is exactly how fast they are. How did you know? Aside from the fact that that's what that's the first speed we bring up anytime we're looking at something speed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they are quite fast when they want to be.
So Thorn, you want to narc on them, or you want to use this for blackmail?
Well, honestly, I feel like Blessed Thorn would just be like, whatever. But I feel as a player, I want to know what's going on. But as a student, I'm not sure that she would want to get involved at this point. Does that make sense? I'm trying to think.
Oh, we should totally follow them.
Oh,
I'm not there, but I'm not there. I guess we're.
No, well, you can get. I imagine too. You could get there soon enough if you're. But I feel like Blessed Thorn would not. I'm not coming up with a good reason for why Blessed Thorn would do that unless. Yeah, if Indispensable hasn't shown any real like. If he seemed to have been chilling, it seems like I feel like he has been. I don't know that I want to push things by continuing to spy on him and prove justifying him thinking we're all narcs.
I feel you.
But what does Lacuna do?
She's filing this away for later.
Yeah, even knowing that they go
off.
I mean, there's odds are if this is something they do once, they'll probably do it again. And if we have reason to think that maybe they're doing something untoward, then we could then we could pursue it further. But right now, I don't know that we're at that point yet. Now, that's at least how Blessed Thorn feels. How the other student, how the rest of y'all feel?
All right. Do y'all, you had sent a text off to them saying Dumb and Dumber were doing something dumb, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Putty and Rigajig, y'all get that text. This time you both get a text from a girl.
See,
Do we count though? Because we're also teammates. I mean, does that really count?
We're teammates. For
a 14-year-old.
How am I kidding?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was about to say we're 14. Of course, we're going to count it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I don't even know what the question was. Of course we can.
So what are Dumb and Dumber up to?
Something dumb.
I text them. They left campus, went down the road, full speed.
I'll tell Rigajig is like, man, we got to follow him.
Jake looks at him. No, we don't. Champ, we've been here 2 days. I ain't about to jump out in the middle of a city I don't know to follow somebody who I don't know how powerful is, who doesn't like me.
What kind of hero are you?
What in training?
We politely file this away and then decide whether or not we go to a higher authority about it and go, hey, look, if someone gets hurt and one of those three doesn't come back, we tell somebody.
Well,
They come back
she
and
only
they're
reported.
fine.
She only told you about 2 of them going and doing something. They didn't see Quark.
Yeah,
Well,
that is fair.
I got nothing against Corkscrew that I know of, other than he's real antsy. But yeah, if one of them gets hurt, we say something. But if they both show up in the morning just fine,
But
Keep our mouth shut.
yep.
if we're
Maybe-
training to be heroes, shouldn't we be making sure they don't get hurt?
They're also exactly as hero as us.
Yes, really.
By any definition of this school, they are exactly as hero as us.
Yes, really. We are swearing ourselves to protect the defenseless mortals who do not have our power. And
As a
it is-
defenseless mortal that does not have your power.
Or the
Oh, no.
jerks that don't have our brains?
Champ, I get D's. This is just This was just a long time of effort. It was no feat of super science. That's why I keep looking for a super scientist so they can make this not terrible. This thing weighs like 117 pounds. I'm carrying a small person.
Yeah, I feel like Blessed Thorn's done enough rule breaking for one day. But I'm sure this will come up again in the near future.
Oh yeah, like we don't know that you two have been breaking rules.
In fact, you don't even know that they necessarily went to the library. You don't know what they were doing.
Yeah.
They could have been the ones smoking the marijuana.
Oh,
Blessed Thorn just, grows it
I
out of
grew
her
it.
hair or something.
what are they gonna do? Confiscate it? Just pop another one out. I don't
It's
know
just
that
all
I quite
natural.
work
Oh, it's
with that.
divine.
Yeah, exactly. It's religious exemption, man. I don't know if plant mimicry quite works that way. I don't know what power would I invoke for copying for
Emotion control. Limited to feeling mellow.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, so y'all all eventually retire for the evening if you're not going to follow anybody into town.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Rigajig, Putty, do y'all wait up to see if Quark comes back?
I
don't know of
did.
him leaving, but he's not in the room when y'all get there. So, and y'all saw him. You saw him leave the dorm with him.
Is Eric in the dorm?
Yes. By the time y'all get back to the dorm, he's finished his run. He's back up there.
How was the run, Eric?
Oh, Oh, it's pretty good. One of my teammates joined me, Nicole. She got super speed, so I don't think it was that challenging for her, but yeah.
Just you and Nicole?
Yeah, I invited everybody, but she was the one that showed up.
Nicole
Should
has
we,
super speed.
Should we leave it to just you and Nicole?
Well, no, I mean, any of y'all that wanted to come jog or what? Oh.
Ding.
I don't know. I mean, she's real friendly, but she's friendly and talkative to everybody. And she was the only one that wanted to show up, but she, her power is running, so.
Oh yeah, I don't mean to like force an idea on your mind. I was just curious if she had like thrown any signals on purpose or anything.
I don't think so.
All right, it's
I'm
cool.
not always the best at picking that kind of stuff up, though.
Yeah, don't worry too much about it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's the first day, or second.
But
day,
if she comes with you at like every run, maybe start thinking something.
I'll keep an eye out.
Also, have you seen Quark?
No, he was in here when I invited y'all all to go running. Is he missing or something?
Well, we saw him head out a little bit, but thought he'd be. It's getting close to time for bed, so we thought he'd be back by now.
He's like, yeah, they do have a lights out. Not like I guess alarm doesn't sound quite right, but yeah, they do have a signal that it's supposed to be lights out. Though they don't go around to the dorms checking. So yeah, when y'all would usually retire to bed, Quark's still not back. If y'all do, any of y'all stay up to wait for him?
I will.
Okay. About midnight, he comes back in. You don't see him, and suddenly, just right on the inside of the door, he swells up to normal size, like mid tiptoe. He's got his shoes in his hands. He's clearly not trying to get back in. What was that, Curtis?
Dude, where did you go?
Let's see here. Quark. Oh, he's got a super high awareness, so yeah. He knew you were there before he said something. Just running around campus. You notice his face is a little smudged. His clothes are a little dirty. He smells faintly of smoke. Not like cigarette smoke. Not like marijuana smoke. Like somebody set a building on fire and he walked by.
Okay.
Damn.
Not brimstone?
I'm just going to take a quick shower and head to bed. School's off early in the morning. Then he disappears in his room, comes out with a towel, and heads down to the showers in this place are set up kind of locker room style. Are you up when he gets back from taking a shower?
Yeah.
Jeez, man, you should really get you some sleep. Both going and coming, he did the little shrink thing where, you're guessing he walked under the door, maybe?
It's one thing about, that just occurs to me, it's one thing about having shrinking powers is whatever your dorm size is, you're basically living in a mansion.
That's true. Well, I'll go on to bed and I'll say, I'm just saying, arson isn't cool.
Whoa. Buddy's just going there.
I know, right? Why would anybody start fires? I mean, not that I know anything about somebody having started any fires tonight, but I don't know why they would.
Interesting.
Well, good night. The next morning in the news, there is a reports of a fire in an abandoned tenement building.
Oh boy.
Neighbors report sounds of combat. There was gunfire. The sound of a small explosion. Fire marshal say it appears that gas containers were, shot. Basically, is what started the fire. It wasn't like a huge, big fire explosion, but it was enough to set the building on fire. Nobody got a good look at the combatants. It was at least a couple of people moving around at unusual speeds that they couldn't see real well. Seemed to be fighting like some paramilitary types. Just from the description, it was guys. They had full hoods, they had guns, they had the little vests. When you get downstairs, Indispensable's in full costume like usual. Corkscrew's in his uniform. He doesn't look, injured or anything. As soon as y'all all walk down, though, they're like, "Hey, Quark, how'd you sleep last night?" Okay. Kind of like they're checking up on him. Okay. Other than that, they're looking innocent. Over in the girls' dorm, there's none of this drama going on. Nobody tried to sneak out. The Jasmines seem to be on good terms. The Accords are holding.
We're all very well behaved, and we broke rules the yesterday.
Now and down in the common area, the news is on. Amber apparently saw it on her phone and specifically looked it up on the TV. Hey, there was some kind of superhero fight last night.
Really?
I know Drigajig. It's like they were playing hero and we got left out.
Rigajig will look at him. I assure you, we'll have plenty of that in the future. It's best we learn how to handle it now, rather than jump in guns a-blazing.
And we will wrap up there. Because it's a little after 4.
Yes.
So, first day of school, let's see. Half the team did some breaking and entering.
Half the team knew better.
And dominated in ping pong. You have been introduced to an actual, already operating superhero.
Yeah.
Not that any of you had ever heard of him before this, so you don't know how much operating he had done.
Apparently, we can't do without him.
Though to be fair, Dynaman, until the incident with the Harbinger Croom, he was not a, household name outside of the Pacific Northwest.
That's right. I remember we talking about that before.
Fairly big deal in Seattle and the surrounding area. And it's helped out in some of the California fires and stuff, but
Yeah, then again, so is Nirvana, and look what happened to them.
Fair point. Not that any of your characters necessarily even know who they are.
Yeah, we're like the Foo Fighters are kind of old band, aren't they? Yeah, my dad used to listen to the Foo Fighters. Not my dad.
But yeah, not Blessed Thorn's dad. Who knows how old he is?
We never know. But in any event.
Anyway, we're gonna wrap up here. Kind of introduce you to some of the staff. You've met most of the well, your characters have met all the students. We've met some of the important ones.
We have a class schedule.
Yes,
That's
you have the
important.
class schedule. And while adventure did not find you today, it will surely find you next time.
Mm-hmm.
You know how these sorts of schools go.
I tried.
If it's anything like Xavier's school, the school will get blown up. In a couple of years.
I will say that now that Blessed Thorn knows why they're heading off, she may start to see things Putty's way, because she is a ancient deity, and she might be like, well, do I really need to just take classes, really?
Nothing teaches you more than actual experience.
Yeah, exactly. To be continued,
right.
that's for sure.
So anyway, I hope y'all had a good time. I had fun running for you. I hope y'all watching or
Mm-hmm.
listening at home later enjoyed it, and we'll be back. We'll do this again in 2 weeks. Again, I've been your GM, Jason, and with me has been Curtis playing Putty,
Later.
Mike playing Blessed Thorn.
And this is Swifty Luna. Bye.
Seems very excited to hear. Just looks up at Dad and squints. Why are you showing me off to these people?
Daddy, embarrassing me.
Taylor playing Rigajig,
See ya.
and Zach playing Lacuna Lane.
Have a good night.
And we will see y'all next time.
Mm-hmm.